Welcome to Between Showings, the podcast where two sisters in real estate sit down with people behind homes, businesses, and stories shaping our communities. From real estate and entrepreneurship to design, lifestyle, everything in between. These are the conversations happening between showings. Today, we're super excited to welcome Alexis. She's an Illinois native in Wisconsin now, co-founder of Powerhouse Partners, which we've talked about before on the podcast. And we're just so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. Danica, you have the perfect podcast voice.
Thank you.
That's
my stage voice.
Yeah.
Let's start from origin, roots, beginning. You're not a Wisconsin native. Now you do real estate in Wisconsin, but why did you move to Wisconsin to start?
So, funny story is that everything happens for a reason in life. I will say that forever. So I born and raised Illinois. I went to school in Mississippi. So I went to Mississippi State, did all 4 years there, and I loved it. And I met my now husband there. So he's from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. His family still lives there. He got a job with Kohl's Corporate. So that's why we moved to Wisconsin. And we had been together for like a month at the time. And I was like, you know what? Worst case, it doesn't work out, we'll be up there anyway. My parents moved up here in 2018. So they moved here 2 years before we did in 2020. And yeah, he ended up getting a job here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive headfirst into real estate and just look back and, at least try it and look back and at least say, you know what? I did it if it didn't work out. But here we are almost 6 years later.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I just dove headfirst. And I was like, you know what? I know I can hold myself accountable. I knew the corporate structure was not for me.
Yeah.
That is just, I know I can hold myself accountable. I know I can run my own business. So we just went for it. And I didn't know anybody here.
Yeah.
So I built my entire business on social media because I'm like, you know what? How am I supposed to meet people? I was 21 at the time when I moved here, just about to turn 22. And I didn't know anybody. It was COVID.
Yeah.
I do
Alexis, when was our first deal together? That's when I first met you. Do you remember that house in Heartland?
Yeah, when my car got stolen.
Oh my gosh. I just thought about that the other day and I was like, this poor girl, like this is not happening to her right now.
That was 22. Yeah. So that was my second full year of real estate. Yeah.
And her car got stolen.
Before I was supposed to head out there. And oh my gosh. They just had their 4th anniversary, their home anniversary.
Fast. That's crazy. I'll never forget that day. You're like, crazy story. You're not gonna believe this. Like, I don't have a car. Oh my gosh. That should be chalked up into a real estate book someday of like things you can't even like imagine happening to you. Yeah.
No. That could be a whole set.
Yeah, right.
What did you originally go to school for?
I have a business administration degree with a double minor in marketing and psychology.
Makes sense.
Business through and through, and sprinkle a little bit of that psychology in there of how you read people.
Was real estate kind of always the goal, or was that a shift that happened after you were done with school?
It's interesting. So I interned with a realtor who sold my childhood home in Illinois. So that was 2016. And I was like, you know what? I got to leave school an hour early. I'm like, you know what? It's going to be great. And I always had a vision of real estate. I'm like, I think this is super cool. I love that I can work for myself. The harder I work, the better the payoff. And again, I know I can hold myself accountable and I don't have any overhead. I'm not owning a product-based business or something like that. So interned there and I'm like, you know what? I like it. I'm going to go to school. Always thought I would do corporate marketing. And then when John got the job here in Milwaukee, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is my time. I'd rather try something and see what happens versus not try it and look back later and say, what would that have looked like if I would have done it?
What were those few months like when you moved to Wisconsin and you were starting real estate? What were you thinking? Were you like nervous? What were the feelings?
I was very much, let's just see what happens. I didn't really have high hopes, but I know I was doing the course in my mom's office and we were like back to back. And because again, work from home, but I knew I was excited. I was excited to do it. I was excited for the leap. The course is not the most enjoyable and it's not the most exciting, but it's all that important stuff that you need to learn when you're going to be practicing real estate. So I also was like, what did I get myself into?
I love that.
Yeah.
Natalie?
I was just thinking, like, when you first started out, did you have your eye on like a certain brokerage, or were you thinking like, was there a mentor that you had here, or were you just kind of like on your own? Like, I have to create this path for myself. I guess, how did that start out?
Yeah. So when my parents moved here in 2018, they also didn't know a realtor here when they purchased. So they met Craig and Dana on realtor.com, and it was just a random pair. And I connected with Craig and Dana because they lived here in Milwaukee. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to get licensed. Help me. And at that point, they were like, you know what? We're going to start a team. So Craig and Dana really gave me that footprint and that foundation to build my real estate business. But I joined a team for a year and a half because I genuinely say that if I wouldn't have done that, I don't think I would have been where I'm at today, because that person gave me that foundation. I was, for the most part, 95 sufficient on my own leads my first year in real estate, but they helped me with the real estate side from the education, which is important.
Right. And the follow through and maybe next steps and all of
Exactly. Because yeah, they still are in the business, but I want to say at this point, it's probably been 25 years
that. Yeah.
they've been in the
That's a lot of
business.
knowledge, a lot of trial and error, probably.
Absolutely.
Right. Lessons learned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Natalie and I always say that with every transaction, we discuss that we both always are learning something new, just because everyone is so completely different.
Absolutely. You'll never learn everything. And I think that's the beauty, and it's kind of one of the pillars of building the Powerhouse Partners is it's a community of agents, and we all have different experiences. So when we can share those in like our Slack group or in a meeting, and people understand those stories, they can go back to that person and say, okay, I'm having this issue. I know Natalie had that exact same issue. I'm going to go to her and talk about those things. That's how we learn.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know, Natalie.
I guess here, this is a good one for me. So you said you had a background in marketing and business and all of that. Was Instagram like your first way where you're like, or your first line where you're like, this is how I'm going to grab my, my leads? Or was it something else that you did first? Or was Instagram kind of where you dove in to begin with?
Instagram was what I dove into first.
Okay.
I remember being a brand new agent and looking at Instagram like Milwaukee Realtor. And I'm like, who's out there? And I remember Courtney Stefaniak being one of the first people I saw. And I still will tell her this today, but I'm like, I remember looking up to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. And like, being able to make those relationships with people. But I definitely noticed, I mean, this was 6 years ago, looking at Instagram as, what can be that creative tool for me to put something out there and get my name out there, because I didn't have a sphere here. Nothing. I had nothing. And I was like, you know what? I'm also really impatient. So I'm like, how do I go find somebody instead of wait for them to find me? So that's when I just trial and error my own strategies to say, okay, what works? I still teach on those things today of what
I remember you like reaching out to, I think that you said like to other agents and stuff like that, and just networking with them and just befriending them, and not in a very genuine way, where you're like, we want to network and become a community and make friends in the business. And I think it just all kind of comes full circle.
I still do that. Like,
yeah,
1000%. I'm like, I just want to meet people because we all work together at the end of the day.
Yes.
I practice real estate full time. I am in the trenches with everybody else. I'm also leading at the same time, but we all work together. And there's no better feeling, and I think you two would agree with this as well, is to tell your client, I know that agent.
Yes.
That agent's a very good friend of mine. It's your client's offer at the end of the day, but brownie points do help.
Yes.
Say, you know what? I know Danica is going to get this job done. I know Natalie is going to do an incredible job. That way, you're kind of vetting it for your client and your seller, or your buyer as well.
Like there's a lot of real estate agents, but I always think it's a very small community as well.
90% of the business is done by 10% of the agents. And you see those same names over and over. And you get to know those people. And when you do a good job, that's a reflection of your name. Now you have good job behind your name. And word travels quickly because, I mean, small walkie is a real thing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody. When I have now dabbled in like starting my leadership journey within the industry and kind of really getting my toes wet in that, I see the same people over and over. And over at events. Like this morning when I was at an event, I saw Jim. I said, hi, Jim, you can't get rid of me. Here I am.
I love that. When you, starting to post on social media, getting in the business, did you have any reservations? I think a lot of people can resonate with feeling like they don't want to promote themselves on social media or their business, or they feel like, what are people thinking of me? Or, how did you kind of deal with that? How did you get over that hurdle?
Well, the nice part is I didn't know anybody here. So I
Maybe
could
that's
just throw
better.
something out. Right. I could just throw something out and I'm like, well, no, but I have no history. But at the end of the day, who cares? Put
Yeah.
something out there. Sell yourself, because I mean, we work in a people industry. So if people don't know about it and know about you and your business, how are they supposed to hire you? How are they supposed to recommend you? If you're being that secret agent behind the scenes saying, I know I'm an agent, but nobody else does. So if you're not putting yourself, it doesn't have to be hire me, hire me, hire me. It's value, value, value. And how can you help that person? So I think going back to your question, Danica, on how did I feel? I just threw stuff out there and then I would reevaluate it. Okay, how did that perform? How did that do? Was it kind of cringy? That's okay. You got to start somewhere. I should scroll back and look at my first reel because I can only imagine what it looks like.
So funny.
So funny. It's like looking at your Facebook statuses from 2010. It's no
Oh my
good.
gosh. Mortifying.
Truth
I know
is,
you've been traveling all over the country talking about social media and real estate, and we just had a great meeting with you not that long ago. If someone were to look at your social media, and maybe the realtors that are listening, we talk a lot about like lifestyle content versus real estate content. What's a good mix of that for someone to be sharing?
absolutely. And I love this question because, again, we work in a people business and you are selling yourself at the end of the day. Yes, we are selling properties for buyers and sellers, but also you're selling yourself. And people choose to hire you because they want to hire you. So I think it's so incredibly important to, you don't have to share what you had for dinner every night and what you're up to every second of the day, but that human connection is so incredibly important because they want to know about Danica. They want to know about Natalie. They want to know about Alexis and what your hobbies are. What do you enjoy? Your family, because that's how they build that trust with you. And I 1000% think, because I would throw out stuff about myself and I was traveling, or about John and I, or just all kinds of different things. I think it helps build that trust. And when they build that trust through social media, then when they reach out, they feel like they already know you. So it's truly, my clients from Instagram are the best clients because I feel likewise about them. I know what their child's name is. I know what their dog's name is. I know maybe they're from another state. Maybe they just moved here. I can see their prom photos from like 15 years ago. So I can see all those things. Yeah. So it's then that's the cool part, is that if we feel like we already know each other, because that's the beauty of social media.
I mean, I
That
remember one of your posts that you said did really, really well was your husband likes to cook, I think. Is that, yeah, he is like a really good cook. And I remember you posting some sort of meal or something and you're like, I don't know. It was just a cute interactive post that you made, but I'm like, I still remember it.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you brought that up because it, you don't know what somebody's going to resonate with. And for you, it was our cook off. I think that's probably what
Yes.
you're
The
referring
cook
to
off.
as
Yes, that is exactly
fried
what it was.
rice versus chicken
Yes.
sliders. Like John and I will do that sometimes. And it's just funny.
Yeah.
And if we need to like clean out the freezer, I'm like, okay, what can we make and what can we throw together? But then I have people vote. So then they feel like they're engaged, they're part of it. It's the mini competition that means nothing, but it's rememberable. And same thing when you're posting maybe a place that you're traveling to or a new restaurant, local content. Oh, I've been meaning to try that place. I'm going to add that to my list. Oh, I remember when Danica went there. Like, I know you went to South Carolina not that long ago. So it's like looking at those little things of, I should ask her, what did she do there? I'm actually going in 2 weeks. So I will ask you.
Oh, nice.
and jealous.
Yeah. So it's those things. It's just building that connection so they feel like they know, like, and trust you.
I think too, for especially when we talk about agents in the industry wanting to get into social media a little bit more and be out there a little bit more, a lot of times there's like this paralysis by analysis and like pressure to perform. And you think you have to go viral or buy really expensive equipment and make perfect content. I feel like those are all myths. When someone has those ideas, what's actually moving the needle? It's not going viral or being perfect, but what is working?
This thing. This is this you can connect to the entire world through this thing. And that is all that you need is a phone camera. And in my opinion, I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well. I think organic content filmed through your phone that's posted does 1,000 times better than professionally produced content. It depends what industry you're in, but for our industry, on your phone content, it feels organic. It doesn't feel like it's fake, overproduced. Like, again, going back to that trust thing, you're like, oh, it's on our phone. So I think that this is all you need. And I agree with you. It's analysis paralysis of this, and this, and then you never do it. Because then no, you restrict it in your mind and it's all up here.
Totally.
Yeah, that progress over perfection kind of thing, where it's like, let me just put something out there. Something's better than nothing. I think that we heard that a lot yesterday during our team meeting too. Like, just do something.
That's my favorite one. Do something. Just
Yeah.
have a conversation. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think, again, we overanalyze it in our brain of, oh, I need to do this and this perfectly, or else they're not going to hire me. I need to do this, and this perfectly. And that's not the case. They don't know if it's perfect. You're the only one who knows it's perfect. And there's nothing perfect in the world. Everything's going to be changed and adjusted.
And I mean, speaking of Instagram, I feel like every week I'm reading something new about like changes they're going to make to the app. They're going to get rid of your follower count, like all these things. I'm like, all right, just when you think you have something down, it's different again. So
absolutely, they like to keep you on your toes.
Seriously. Well, let's talk a little bit too about the market. And obviously, you're busy not just leading, but also in the field. What are buyers struggling with the most right now?
Oh gosh, finding a house, which is the most important part. Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest part. And so I've done a lot of travel, like you had mentioned this year, just speaking in different parts of the US. I've been to Oklahoma, Vegas, Phoenix, Fort Worth, and I'm about to head to Tennessee here at later end of the year. And I love to ask people, how's your market? Because I'm just curious. I just want to know what other parts of the US are seeing pretty much across the board for all of them. Oh, I mean, it's pretty slow here. I mean, properties are sitting for like 30, 60, 90 days, maybe more for some. And I'm like, oh, I cannot relate to that.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, depends on the property and how it's priced, but they're moving in 24, 48, 72 hours a lot of the time. So and they're just like, what? And I'm like, we don't have any inventory. And I look at a lot of these places, and this is something I'm very passionate about, is Waukesha County and affordability within it. I mean, you cannot build a house anywhere in Waukesha County for under minimum 550 minimum. And I mean, that's going to be your very basic build. And when you look at it that way, yes, taxes are typically cheaper, but somebody who has maybe their starter house in Milwaukee County and now they want to move to Waukesha County, they might not be able to afford that. And looking at, yeah, and also looking too, anybody who's downsizing. So let's just say buyer's looking in for 450, and maybe there's a downsizer who owns a $600,000 house and they don't need that large house anymore, empty nesters. Well, guess what? They have 25 years of equity and they're probably paying cash. So these downsizers are competing with first-time home buyers or move-up buyers, and they want a larger house for their family because maybe now they have 2 kids or maybe another one on the way or their first child. They don't have anywhere to go. And now we're competing about it because that 550 is just out of reach for them. So it's something I'm very passionate about, but it's such a real issue. And these other markets that I was talking about, they have a influx of new construction. Influx. Like builders are saying, I will give you a 3% rate. Just buy my house. And they are basically begging them. And I'm like, we can't keep new construction and the market, but also the affordability side.
I think land is an interesting thing too. I mean, there's just not a lot of available land like in those areas. I think that these new buyers are looking either. I think that's a big hurdle that builders are coming across. I don't know about those other markets, but they don't want those big giant subdivisions with 1,200 homes in them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What do you think sellers are misunderstanding the most right now in today's market?
That their house is perfect.
And I think we're seeing a lot of that.
Truly. I think that's what we're seeing a lot of. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've had a decent amount with home inspections this year. I know a lot of properties don't have a home inspection. It is totally property dependent on where it is, price, the house itself. I have felt like that, especially buyers too with this. It's like, I don't want to take on your issues. And I think 21, 22, and 23 were very much like, you know what, we'll take it, we'll do it, whatever we have to. I think 25 and 26, we saw a lot more of, you know what, I'm going to be more hesitant. I'm going to protect myself because they weren't so, I would say, engulfed in like the pressure. So, and then there's more pushback from sellers, but you're going to have that issue again if you don't make that adjustment.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of, a lot of different pricing strategy too, I think, when it comes to listing houses slightly under market value to drive engagement. What are your thoughts around that? I know some people are really like strong opinion about it.
See both sides. It really depends on the property. I know I just had wrote on one recently, and the agent's a friend of mine, and he's like, hey, you didn't get it. We ended up with 7 offers. They listed just under 400. And he goes, yeah, I'll say it on here. He goes, yeah, I'm that asshole that price is 50,000 below. And I'm like, I just laughed. I'm like, I mean, I get it. But
Yeah.
I look at it, what he did for his sellers, because they ended up with 7 offers. I don't know what they'll close at. I'm going to imagine well over asking with 7 offers, probably no inspection, and got them a cleaner offer. You're the seller, great. You take that chance to make sure that you really are going to get 7 offers because you can't predict. But I'm not opposed to the strategy. I'm not a 50,000 underpricer. I may be like a 20,000 underpricer, but we drive it to get a cleaner, better offer for the seller because that's the buyer's choice of how they want to submit their offer.
Yeah, different strategies for sure.
I find that I have sometimes a difficult time sharing that with buyers. So, a lot of especially first time home buyers, they're like, I don't want to overpay for it. It's like, well, you're not overpaying, it's just priced under market value. And so sometimes I feel like, unfortunately, for especially newer home buyers, have a hard time with those numbers, even if it is, they know that market value is probably more. It's still like a mind game from them having to bid 30,000 over asking. Feels like they're overpaying for a house, which it'll appraise out all the things, but that's a struggle sometimes.
I am also really glad that you brought this up because it's all psychological.
Mm-hmm.
For them, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm paying this much. And I said, realistically, this house should, let's use for 400, for example, just random house. Let's just say they listed at 375. And I go, realistically, this house should have been listed at 415. So if it was listed at 415 and you wrote 420, 425, that's not that much over. But now we're going 40, 50,000 over because of how they priced it. And they go, when you say it like that, like, okay, I understand. And that's the reasoning because they want to drive up the offers to get more offers to get the price they actually want compared to listing higher and then hoping that they get maybe one offer and it's not as clean as they want it to be.
It's a little more work for us on the buyer's side, going and educating and doing all the research and making sure and all the things. But yeah, it makes
we put our therapist hat on for that one.
I love it. All right, I'm going to do a little sort of rapid fire, but you can say yes or no to these questions, but you can also expand on them because some of them I kind of want to know more. But first one's coffee or energy drink?
Ooh, coffee, 100%. Multiple a day.
Me too. What is your order? What's your favorite coffee shop?
Yeah, that's a good question. I love Blue Collar in Delafield. That's one of my favorites. A good vibe. I love downtown Delafield, and you can go for a walk if you wanted to. So that's my fave.
This is a good lead in. What's your favorite Wisconsin town?
Ooh, I love Oconomowoc. That's personally one of my favorites. I'm from Illinois, so I mean, I really only know southeastern Wisconsin. I haven't explored a lot of other areas of Wisconsin, but Oconomowoc's one of my favorites.
What is your favorite room in a house?
The living room. That's my favorite, where I can grab my blanket and watch my Netflix show and
cuddle with your dog.
Yes.
Cuddle with your dog
at the same time.
What is your biggest social media pet peeve?
I would say, because I do a lot of things where it might bother other people, like I repost my own stuff, but maybe
you gotta take advantage of all of your accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe hide like count. I don't know.
That's a good one. I feel like if I had to think about it, it would be, I kind of wish Instagram would go back to like its original days where there was like not as much pressure for performance and likes and shares and engagement and more.
I know the algorithm. That is my biggest pet peeve. That is 100% my biggest pet peeve. Now I came to the conclusion because I'm like, I just wish my stuff would show up in chronological order.
I wish it was chronological like it used to be.
You miss so much. I think you miss so much sometimes. You're like, oh,
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Right. 100%.
What is your dream listing?
I would love, so I have yet to sell over 1 million. And I would love to hit 1 million, but I would love to do something with like a beautiful pool or like something on the water and just something very much my vibe. It's like just it would be such a fun marketing piece.
Yes. One app you couldn't work without.
My email. I'm going to say that because I literally could not do anything, but also Instagram, social media, that kind of stuff. That's how I run my business.
What's one piece of advice for new realtors?
Put yourself out there and do something. That's my best advice. We overcomplicate it of, oh, I have to do this, and this person's telling me I need to do it exactly this way. If not, then it's not going to work. Just try something, do something, and put yourself out there. Have a conversation and build a relationship. That is the foundation of this business.
Since being in Wisconsin, what is your favorite thing about the state?
I'm going to say the people. Like, I absolutely love the people. Like, everybody is so kind. Like, when my in-laws come visit, they're like, wow, everybody's just so nice here. And they're from the South. But I very much as how much they love their state, how much they love their sports. And you just feel invited, even though I am a fib. They still welcome me.
We welcome you.
Is there a hidden gem that you found, a restaurant, a store, somewhere in nature in Wisconsin that you feel like everyone should know about?
I'm definitely not a nature girly. Not me. I'm a glamper.
Being outdoorsy, but not really doing it. Yeah.
No, like I love to go for a walk around my neighborhood. That's about it. I like to eat. I love food. I love to try a new restaurant. ID in Delafield is my absolute favorite restaurant ever. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see I'm there probably at least once a month. And they keep changing the menu, so it keeps you on your toes.
Love that. And they're.
You've been to, I think it's in Oconomowoc. It's like a little house, Mont Bijou.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you after this.
Gosh.
I haven't been either, but maybe we could all go together. It looks
I think
so
Thursday night to the night.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. All right, just a couple quick closing questions. Looking at when you first started, being super new to a state, all the things, what does success look like to you today versus back then?
It's very different. I think I'm also the kind that's never satisfied. Like I'm not like ever like, okay, my plate's full, I'm done for the day. Like it's what can I keep doing? What can I keep growing? But I mean, for me, I feel like in my first year in business, I did 20 deals my first year. And I'm like, you know what? Like I'm very happy with that. Super successful. But the mile marker always keeps getting pushed out. And it's like, you know what? If I don't do at least 15 million, like that's kind of my absolute bottom line of what I want to do. So, but it's also how many people can I help? How many people can I connect with? And the beautiful thing about life, and I think it also comes with success, is who do you know? Who can you have a conversation with? And where are they going to take you in life? Because you never know who's going to impact you, how you're going to work together in the future. Like, Natalie, did I ever think when we worked together, we would be probably sitting here right now?
It's so fun. I love it.
But we keep that relationship.
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing about it. And I really do correlate that with success. It's all about who you know.
Love that. What's next for you? Either like you and John, or I know you got a new dog, business, social media, anything in your pipeline that you're excited about?
This year for me and my business, I added in another layer of helping me with showings. So I'm traveling every month this year, going somewhere. A lot of it's for work and a lot of it's work travel, sprinkle in a little bit of personal travel. But like I would be absolutely lost without that. But that's allowed me to do other things. So that's always been my goal because as a realtor, it's incredibly hard to leave. So that's next for us is being able to take a nice vacation every year or so and see.
Lastly, I think whether it's moving to a new city, changing careers, or just chasing dreams in general for people, what would you want them to remember about this podcast and our talk today?
I would say meet as many people as you can. If you were to move to a new city, dial in and be really strategic about the people that you want to meet because it does not matter where you live. Everybody knows somebody and they have their own spheres, just like business. But if you want to build something successful, have the conversations with the right people. Social media is a 24-hour networking party you can do in your PJs. Connect with people, engage with them, shoot them that message, because there's a good chance they probably don't get a lot of messages and yours might stand out to them to at least have a conversation with. Take them out for coffee, $5, $8. Like, that's the easiest way to meet somebody and say, hey, I want to pick your brain on how you built your business, and take those tidbits and make them your own.
Yeah.
I love that. Just drop the knowledge on us, Alexis. Thanks so much for joining us on Between Showings.
You are so very welcome. This was great. Thank you for having me.
If people want to follow your journey, connect with you, where can they find you?
On Instagram, I am Milwaukee Realtor Alexis, and anybody can shoot me a DM at any point. I'd be more than happy to have a chat.
Thank you for hanging out with us Between Showings. If you love this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who would love the conversation. And we'll see you next time Between Showings.